What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Blazers Uprise Live, presented by Bet Online. Here on a Monday, we're getting closer and closer to the trade deadline. It is now a week and a half away. Eric, we're going to talk Jay Crowder. We're going to talk rumors. We're going to talk Shams report. We're going to talk Zach Lowe podcast, a trade they had for the Blazers. Lots of trade talk today for your Portland Trail Blazers. But first, we got picks against the spread, which I can't wait to get to, Eric. But first, how's your day going?
It's going good. Excited for 8 games today because the standings are crazy.
Yeah, but the standings are looking better. Let's see why. It's because I'm back where I belong. Once again, this segment is presented by Bet Online. All the spreads in this segment are featured over on Bet Online. You can get in on the action there, live betting parlays, and of course, picks against the spread. So if you like any of these games, like any of this action, go over to Bet Online and use that promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for a 50% reward bonus. And I'm back up top, Eric, despite having tied for the worst double down record, because I can't pick double downs well this year. I am still back up top, trying to defend my half of the crown. Chat, of course, has the other half, because considering we tied last year and didn't have a tiebreaker in place, so it's looking good. You got a 6-1 day from me and you, Eric.
And me, yeah.
We killed it.
I finally had a good day, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're 3 games back. I didn't gain a game on you, but I gained a game on Jackson, gained a couple games on Connor. I was a game behind Jackson and tied with Connor. So, yeah, basically it's us 4 at the top. And then you got Chat and Zach within shouting distance. Zach passed up Trevin as he gained 3 games on him, 5-2 compared to 2-5 and Trevin. Then Aeromancer has a nice 90 and 130 record. Very round numbers there, Aeromancer. I don't know if that's what you were going for, but at least you want to double down. We both want to double down because we've been struggling in that regard.
Remember when Zach was like 0 for 7 on double downs?
Yeah. Is he really 16 and 13 now?
Yeah.
Did I typo?
No.
So, but he lost, so he was 16 and 12. So you're telling me he went on a stretch where he was 16 and 5.
He was like crazy for a while, yeah.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see Zach up.
It all changed. There was a stream. Where he said like he was like going to purposely pick the games he wanted teams to lose in or something, just because like that. And ever since then, he's like won every double down pretty much.
Yeah. When you're struggling, you go against your intuition, and then you got to find that middle ground where you get everything right. All right, and that's the strategy. But yeah, Zach was the worst double downer. Now he's the best double downer. Despite losing on Thursday. So let's jump into things here. Eric, we got 8 games. This is game number 1. You got the Boston Celtics hosting the New York Knicks. Boston, 8.5-point home favorite.
I can never... Wait, what?
Did I not switch this game over?
Those teams do not play today.
Oh, wait.
I'm so confused.
Wait. I trolled you. Yeah. It's Philadelphia and Orlando are the teams that are playing first. I just wanted to make you ruffle your papers just for the hell of it.
I was like, I went on Bet Online so I could get the exact order of games, and I'm like, it's still out of order, and then I couldn't find that game.
No, my bad. You got Philly hosting Orlando. Philly's a 9-point home favorite.
All right, so in this one, there is only one injury between both teams, and that's Chuma Ikiki is out for the Orlando Magic. Everyone else is playing, including Joel Embiid, who was listed as questionable.
That didn't give me enough time to type.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Get the poll. Except the poll isn't working. Oh yeah, it is. Cool. I'm gonna do a red logo for the Sixers because both these teams are the same colors.
All right, let me know when you're ready. Start.
We're good to go.
All right, we got Connor and Trevin on the Sixers, Zach on the Magic.
Connor and Trevin Sixers, Zach on the Magic. I'm gonna go the Magic as well.
I'm going to go 76ers.
Alrighty. Did anybody send you their picks?
Nope.
Is Jackson here? Because Aeromancer's here. The question is our guy Jackson here? By the way, while we wait for that, we got a watch party coming up on... When's the date? February 13th. Yeah. February 13th, we have our second in-person watch party. We'll have a live post-game show from there. We'll be able to watch the Blazer game live. You should definitely tune into that post-game show at the very least. If not, come to the freaking event and hang out with me and Eric and watch a Blazer game with some other Blazer fans. The atmosphere was awesome on in our first watch party. The atmosphere was cool. It was GP2's return. This game's against the Lakers. So instead of going to Moda Center, where there's going to be a bunch of Laker fans and it's going to be an annoying experience, come to Alberta Abbey, where our watch party is, February 13th. You can buy tickets at the link that I'm about to post in chat. And I'll post it at near the top of the description box below, under the Bet Online promo.
The chat thing isn't working.
What chat thing is
the little box that shows the percentage?
Oh,
there
it's because I was on a different tab. Tab. That's why. Whoops. Oh, well. Chat's going to go with Sixers. We don't have Jackson. We have Aeromancer. I don't know what Jackson's doing. Anyway, it's in the description box below now, too. So I'd love to meet more of you guys. It was cool meeting a lot of you guys. And I want to meet more of you guys, to be honest. So.
Arrow said Magic.
Arrow said Magic. Okay. Chat ended up going with the Sixers. Aeromancer went Magic. I mean, Jackson can complete the pattern whenever he decides to show up. Because we're doing every other, Eric. We're doing every other. Anyway, game number 2, you got the Lakers going into Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a 9-point home favorite.
Hold on a sec. I'm going to message Jackson.
Oh. I was hoping you did it during my promo.
Well, I did. I messaged him on Discord, but I'm going to do Twitter now, too.
God dang it, Jackson. Jackson should be ashamed of himself.
Actually.
Type the poll right now.
All right. So, for the Lakers, they are without LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Austin Reeves. The Nets are without Kevin Durant. TJ Warren is out. And Ben Simmons is out. So a lot of star power missing from this one. Lil Hud says, chat's going to go Nets because they don't know how this works. And Tori, you're muted still. But just to let people know how it works is that the team that has the minus by their name means they have to win by more than that amount in order for you to win against the spread. So the Nets have to win this game by 10 or more in order for it to be the right decision to pick them.
Yep, so if you think they win by less, if you think they win by 8 or less, or you think the Lakers win, then you should pick the Lakers.
Rip City Brady says, Lakers, easy pick. Pretty easy to pick them without LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Without LeBron and AD, yeah. They got Rui now to carry him, though. But the Nets got Kyrie. They got Rui and Westbrook versus Kyrie.
And Dennis Schroeder. Zach, Trevin, Connor all going Nets.
I'm tempted to go points, but... What are you going with? Aeromancer said Lonnie Walker masterclass incoming, so I assume he's going Lakers. We shall see. Isaac, I'm not sure because Eric does the injuries.
I'm gonna go with Lakers.
What site do you use for the injury report is a question.
Well, lately I've just been using Underdog for Twitter. They have a link to all the games on there. It's pretty good.
Aeromancer, pick a game.
The only problem is some of the like longer term injuries they don't mention much. So you gotta kind of look up or be right on that. Or like remember who's hurt for certain teams.
Yeah. Anyway.
Chat went Lakers, huh?
For Jackson. Aeromancer went Nets. And Jackson isn't here. Shame on Jackson. Shame Jackson in the chat. Anyway, game number 3, you got the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Sacramento Kings. The Kings are 1-point road favorites.
Well, it's like I'm actually now for sure messaging him. Did he?
You what?
I don't know. There he is.
Alright, I'm typing the poll. I don't know what's going on.
Picks. I didn't text Jackson before, so now I was.
Oh, well, shame on you then.
Well, I messaged him on Discord, but I hadn't done it on the other.
Alright, what's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
All right, so in this game, we have no one listed for the Kings except for they just signed Deontay Burton today, so I don't know if he's going to suit up.
Very random signing.
And then the Timberwolves are without Karl Anthony Towns, Jordan McLaughlin, and I'm trying to get an update on Rudy Gobert and Taurean Prince right now because they're both listed as questionable still. Let me see if there's an update. It's a 5 o'clock game, so
Wait, you said Cat was out or questionable?
Cat's out.
Yeah, I was okay. For some reason, I was thinking questionable. I wonder when he's coming back.
Well, it's past the time. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get an update on that. Should be any minute now, but fortunately, we got to do the picks.
Yeah. Aeromancer, Sacramento. Zach is Sacramento. Chat is heavily Sacramento. 23 votes, 24 votes, 88% are the Kings. Connor's going with the Timberwolves. Oh, I need to fix that. Wow, Rip City Brady's here for a stream. Never thought I'd see the day. We got 2 Brady's in here too. That's pretty cool.
I'm gonna go Timberwolves.
Eric's going T-Wolves. Alright. Trevin. Is going with somebody. Hopefully. Brady says, I'm in the house. Happy for you. Make that 3 Brady's. Crushables, is that your name? I think there's another Brady, too, that comes in quite a bit. Trevin goes Kings. Let me know if you ever hear back from Jackson. If not, somebody's going to have to pick his first game. I don't know why it's so hard to send your picks in. Alright. Kings for chat. So Connor, Eric, Timberwolves, everybody else Kings so far. Game 4, you got the Spurs hosting the Wizards. Washington is 5.5-point road favorites.
All right, so for Washington, they're without Jordan Goodwin and Anthony Gill. Yeah, big news there. Daniel Gafford is also now joining them as out with an illness after a huge game the other day. Devin Vassell, Romeo Langford out for the Spurs. The Red Hot Wizards versus the ice cold Spurs.
Which means the Spurs will win.
Zach, Trevin, Aeromancer, all Wizards.
Yeah, I'm going to go Wizards too, because even if it's not the right pick, I won't be mad if the Spurs somehow, win this. I'll be mad if I pick the Spurs and the Wizards blow them out by 20. So, I'm going Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
Who else went Wizards? You said Zach. And,
Zach, Trevin, Aeromancer, Tori, Eric.
Okay. Bang, 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 bang. Bang. Chat is in pursuit of an island.
No, Connor is Spurs.
Oh, Connor ruined the island.
And now they're going to lean heavily the other way.
Yeah, it looks like chat's going to go Wizards. 42 votes, 44 votes, 64% Washington. So they're going Wizards. There we go. All right, Game 5. You got the Thunder hosting the Warriors. The Warriors are 5-point road favorites. That yellow doesn't look too good with the white outline, does it?
All right, so the Warriors are without Andre Iguodala. The Thunder are without Lou Dort, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, Alexei Pokusevski, Lindy Waters III, and Eugene Omarui, or however you say it. I don't know.
I think Omarui is pretty close.
I'm going to go Warriors, as is Connor, despite the Warriors' struggles on the road.
I'm going to go Warriors, too.
Zach is Warriors. Oh, chat loves themselves some OKC. This will be interesting.
This will be interesting, chat. Let's see if you guys can get spicy. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the games we all agree on are the games that we're all wrong on. Like, the spread is set where it is to be 50-50.
Yeah.
So sometimes I like to just go completely against what I'd think.
Trevin is going Thunder.
All right. Who should we pick in chat to make Jackson's pick for his first game? Which tips off in 3 minutes. What Aeromancer go with, by the way?
Don't know.
Oops. What is the starting lineup for the Thunder? You're in chat, Arrow. You can figure it out. And, alright.
We have to look it up for him, Tori.
Yeah. On top of all this, yeah.
All right, Aeromancer. The expected lineup is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Josh Giddey, Aaron Wiggins, Jalen Williams, and Jalen Williams.
Did you say Jalen Williams and Jalen Williams?
Yep, I sure did.
And not Andrew Wiggins, Aaron Wiggins, and they're like 7-0 when Aaron
Wiggins
starts.
That's why I said when I said Aaron.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway.
Arrows on Warriors.
Yeah. Yep. We got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Detroit Pistons. Dallas is an 8.5-point home favorite.
This is the one game that's going to be really tough, considering someone that's questionable. Let me just double check. Oh, no, good. We got an update. All right, so.
What is the update?
For the Raptors, they're without...
What's the update? What do you mean?
I'll tell you in a second.
I know, need to make sure if I need to change the spread. I'll just go look. Never mind.
The Pistons are without Cade Cunningham, Marvin Bagley, and Corey Joseph. The Mavericks are without Christian Wood, Maxi Kleba, and Looks like Luca is playing.
Okay. So I just went and looked at... Yeah, I was just asking that first because I need to go change the spread. Because the spread has bumped 2 points.
Aeromancer.
Don't make your picks yet. I got to change the spread on this thing.
No, Aeromancer changed his pick from the last game.
Why?
I don't know.
Nah, I'm not... He took forever and then... Alright, fine, whatever. I don't care. Sure, go ahead. I don't know why our mods make it so hard. Alright, this is a 10.5 point spread now.
10.5? Okay.
10.5 point spread now.
So, because of that, I'm taking the Pistons.
Alright. Man, why are you saying bruh to us? We're saying bruh to you for good reason. There you go. You can pair up with Trevin. All right. So you went Pistons.
Let's take in the points.
Yeah, I can't.
Trevin is going Mavs.
10.5 points is a lot.
Zach is going
always
Mavs.
Going heavy with the favorite. At some point, I'm going to look back and see how much of the time they go with the favorite compared to the rest of us. During All-Star break is when I plan on doing that. Because I have all the picks saved in the spreadsheet. Trevin's Mavs. And you went Pistons and...
Arrows Mavericks. The Salad Mavericks.
Zach went with the Mav or Ricks.
I got a funny rumor about the Mavericks to talk about in a minute.
Oh, spicy. I'm gonna go. What'd Connor go with?
Don't know.
I'm going with the Mavericks.
Okay. Ooh,
Chad's going with the Pistons.
Ah, dang it. Thought I was going to get an island.
Chat, if you're right on the Pistons, are you going to start going with the underdogs more?
No, they never care about previous things that happen. Tommy, you know the one because I think you and I talked about it.
Connor, come on, man. Come on, bro. Make your pick, man. All right, next game we got the Suns and the Raptors, and the Suns are 1.5 point favorites as of right now. So we'll see if Connor comes through and makes his pick. I'm gonna start typing the poll because we are taking way too long. Bonnie says some of us care but get outvoted. Yeah, that happens. Pistons for Connor. All right. Game 7, as I said, Phoenix Suns hosting the Phoenix Suns hosting the Toronto Raptors, and Phoenix is a 1.5 point home favorite.
The Raptors are without OG Anunoby, Otto Porter Jr., and Delano Banton is questionable. The Suns are still without Devin Booker, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet.
It would be hilarious if the Blazers actually traded for OG Anunoby.
Yeah.
And then we got that reference every single game.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Raptors.
Cool. Who are the Suns without again?
Devin Booker, Cam Payne, and Landry Shamet.
They actually have Chris Paul. Nice.
Arrow's taking the Suns.
Cool.
Zach is taking the Suns.
I put the logo in the wrong place.
Connor is taking the Suns.
I'm taking the Raptors.
Just
you said they were without Anunoby and nobody else meaningful, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm taking the Raptors. So Connor and Aeromancer went Suns, and who else went Suns?
Zach and Trevin.
Interesting. Brady, I'm down to when I have more time. The Sons of Phoenicia. What you going with, Eric? I'm waiting on you.
I was the first person. I was the Raptors.
I don't remember.
You even said, all right, you're going with the Raptors.
Multitasking makes everything a blur, you know. Raptors for chat, so could be a split vote. Anyway, somebody needs to pick this game for Jackson. Who should it be?
First person to volunteer.
First person to say me in chat gets to pick this game for Jackson.
Ugh.
Okay, it's a little HUD. No, he yelled at us though. That was rude. He put it all caps.
We don't
Lil
care.
HUD, who
Kevin
you
was
go
first.
with?
He gets
Yeah.
ignored.
Yeah. Kevin's. Yeah. Sixers for HUD. All right. Your reaction was so funny. Kevin and Eric are arch nemesis is basically what it is. For good reason. So, yeah, Jackson goes with the Sixers because Jackson didn't show up. Freaking Jackson. All right. The next game after that is 4:40, so he still has time to get his picks in instead of getting screwed over. All right, so game number 8, Eric. We got our Portland Trailblazers taking on the Atlanta Hawks. And Portland is a 2.5-point home favorite.
Yep. So this game's going to be kind of weird because Trae Young is questionable. He's the only one listed on that. And then for the Blazers, Justice Winslow, Greg Brown III, Ibu Baji all out. Yusuf Nurkic, Josh Hart, questionable. I'm just going to go with the Hawks. I don't care if I'm wrong, because then the means the Blazers won.
I'm down with that, too. I don't have a chat poll set up for this graphic, but I don't care. And I also share your logic, and I'm also going to do the same exact thing. Whoops, wrong person.
Connor went Hawks. Alex Wolf is going with Jetty Osman for no reason. He just decided to put Jetty Osman with 3 exclamation points in chat.
So if Trae Young plays, he's dropping 50 because we'll put Jeremy Grant on him and he'll just run a million pick and rolls, or he doesn't play. And
J King, GP2 has to play more than 12 seconds in a game to guard someone, so I don't know if that's going to happen.
All right, Zach went Blazers, Connor went Hawks. Trevin went Aeromancer went Hawks. Trevin went
Blazers.
The Blazers.
Yeah.
And then chat is going with the Blazers as well. Alrighty.
I feel like Jackson would pick the Blazers, but
What do we get? Do we make his picks based on what we think he'd pick, or what?
I don't know.
We'll have to figure
We'll
it
give
out.
him a
Like,
few
at the end of the
minutes.
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah. Double down time. Who's chats?
Chats. One of the games on the other page was a huge one. 80% for the Kings. Oh, Jackson's here. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Let's go.
Oh, wow. Portland.
We
All
had
right,
to
you
pick
better
the
send
first,
him in
We had to pick the
fast.
first game for you. Luckily, someone looked at the score already, and you got lucky.
Did he? Did he actually look at the score?
I don't know. Someone said they were up 8-0 by the time.
We can't double down on that game now.
Yeah.
No double downs on that game.
I mean, it's still a high spread.
HUD, did you read it? Jackson, get your picks in, please. If he didn't look at it, I'll roll with it. He says he didn't look at it. I'll take his word for it. I think he's trustworthy. Okay. I am going to go... Can't double down on the first game. Stepped off. I'm going to go with the... honestly, I'm going with the Kings as well.
Honestly?
Honestly. To be real.
Interesting.
You. To be frank. To be Frank Kaminsky. OKC for Arrow.
I'm going to go Warriors. Opposite Arrowmancer.
Do you know which route?
Screw Arrowmancer, that's why.
Screw Arrowmancer, I agree. Do you know which rumor you want to hop into first? We're going to segue quickly.
Sure.
Cool. It'll be efficient. All right, Zach's doubling down on the Magic.
No, he can't. He can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is he saying J? Oh, he forgot he couldn't double down. Or he's trolling. Washington for Trevin.
All right, I have Connor's picks. Or not Connor, Jackson's picks.
All right, let's do them real quick. Game 2.
Nets.
Okay.
Then
3 versus 5 there.
Kings.
Okay, you got a 6 versus 2. Eric and Connor.
Then Wizards.
Okay, and in this game, Wizards. It's a Connor Island on this game. Congratulations, Connor.
Warriors.
And then Warriors, Arrowmancer, and Trevin alone on this one. Warriors,
Mavericks.
Trevin. Mavericks got a 3 versus 5 there.
Raptors.
Raptors got a split vote. Nice.
And I think he took Blazers.
He took Blazers, yeah, so another split vote. And then double downs. What was his double down?
Raptors. We have... Who are we missing? Zach's doing Kings.
Okay. I feel better about my double down pick now.
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe he's just trying to screw you over. 5, 6. Yep, missing Connor.
Alright, anyway, this has been picks against the spread. I'll put Connor's pick in while we talk about the next thing, because our mods are slowing this down a lot. Alright, what's the first rumor you want to talk about, Eric, today? We're just doing trade rumors and that's it.
Let's talk about Jay Crowder.
Okay.
Let's jump right into it.
Crowder. Okay.
Because that was the most prevalent Blazers one, so let's start off with that.
All right. Connor was going Spurs. Cool.
Spurs? Okay.
Thank you for finally picking your double down. All right. There we go. Nice picks. So, Jay Crowder. Set it up, Eric. Wow, look at that score. 17-4. Dang it.
All right. I'm going to pull up the exact article. So basically, this was from Matt Moore. I don't know if he's like the best, most trustworthy guy, or like reliable person when it comes to rumors. But he had a little article today talking about some like buyers and sellers. And he mentioned the Portland Trailblazers as both a buyer and a seller. And that's because, like, obviously we're trying to get better and we're not giving up on the season, but we're also using players like Josh Hart to get those deals done. So
yeah,
he mentioned a few things before the Crowder thing, that it's believed around the league that that Dame, Anthony, and Jeremy Grant are untouchable. Now, I think it was Windhorse today, said if Grant doesn't sign an extension by the deadline, there might be teams calling to see if Portland has cold feet about whether they want to risk it or not. But I'm
There's
pretty.
also a report lately that some teams think that some sources think that there's a handshake agreement in place for an extension this offseason.
Yeah, where he can get another year on that contract. Whether it's more money or not is yet to be determined, but at least he can get a fifth year. He's coming up. I think he's going to be 33 by the end of that 4 years. So you'd think by that time you're not going to get maybe another $30 million deal. It would be a little less. So maybe he wants another year of making that kind of money. And then it also said that Portland has been active in talks with Phoenix and Chicago, among other teams.
Which those two teams should tell you something.
Yes.
Specifically.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if Chicago wants Josh Hart, that makes things a lot simpler, although they don't have a lot of good contracts to match. They do have... they could trade Kobe White in one of their other contracts to match, but obviously Chicago would be probably to get our pick back to use in a bigger trade. And then it says Portland is a possible Crowder destination. I don't like that. Yeah, so with Jay Crowder, you're just looking to get more players who can defend on the wings. And whether or not, it's straight up for Hart or it's part of a bigger deal. I can see it making sense, except for the fact that Crowder is also a free agent. And you don't know anything about how he'll fit or anything like that. I don't think he really changes much, except for he's willing to shoot a little bit and is maybe a little bit more of an in-your-face defender. But he's also been a baby this season and hasn't played on a team that's trying to win. So, I don't
want him.
Yeah, I don't know how much that factors in or not.
I don't want him. I don't want a dude who, we trade for Crowder and then bring him off the bench and he hates it and doesn't play, or we start him at the 3 and I don't like him guarding guards much more than Grant. I would rather have Josh Hart out there guarding guards, and Crowder is not that good of a three-point shooter. He's very streaky. He has some terrible stretches of shooting threes, and he doesn't do anything. He's not somebody you trust to do anything off the dribble, really, at this point in his career. So I don't want him. I do not want Jay Crowder at all.
Yeah.
If he's the backup 4, he's fine, but he doesn't want to be the backup 4. He didn't even want to be the backup 4 in Phoenix, or I think he could have still started, but he wasn't promised to finish games, and he took that personally, and he's not going to be happy coming off the bench for the Portland Trail Blazers. Who knows if he even wants to start here? He's being very picky right now, so I don't want him. Yeah.
The Bulls are also interested in Crowder, so maybe that's part of that too, where maybe if he goes there, you can somehow get your pick back instead of it going to Phoenix or something.
Hart to Phoenix and then Crowder to Chicago and then our pick back to us.
Yeah, obviously there'd probably have to be a 4th team or something. OG. Yeah, someone. Yeah. So yeah, but then it goes on to say that Hart is the most gettable and their best trade chip outside of the Untouchables. We already knew that. Yusuf Nurkic is thought to be available, but, and this is the big but that we've been trying to say for a long time. Once again, I don't know if he's basing this off of anything or just speculative, but would only be included for an upgrade at center. So, we're not just going to trade Nurk for, to upgrade the small forward and then worry about getting another center somewhere else. A lot of those trades don't make sense. So we're only dealing Nurk if it's in a trade for a much better center that we don't have to give up a bunch of assets along with Nurk for. So Like I don't think unless his salary is needed to match a much bigger salary that we're going to trade him. Even though I don't know if we necessarily want to keep him or don't want to trade him or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But like, not really. It's the same thing that happened last trade deadline. Nothing really made sense in terms of deals with him, and I think that's going to be the case again this year.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I just checked my Twitter. I'm having so many Twitter bots hit me up right now, Eric, because I tweeted out that I'm looking for a video editor for some NBA Uprise stuff that I'll put the Bet Online thing on and be able to pay for it. And I got like 20 bots like, I can help you edit, I can help you edit, I can help you edit. Like, dumb mistake by me. That was a rookie Twitter mistake by me. But if you want to help me edit, DM me on Twitter. And say you watch the channel first so I can differentiate you from all the other bots that are messaging me. Devin messaged me. Okay, Devin, I'll hit you up. I've been trying to meet with Devin for a while, so hopefully we can talk after this, Devin. Because, yeah, I got something planned. But anyway,
and then,
yeah, don't want Crowder. Phoenix, the only guy I want from Phoenix is Cam Johnson. The only guy that would be supposedly potentially available, but I don't think he's available because of their new ownership situation. And he's been playing really well since he came back off an injury. If Sarver was still there, I think he'd be much more gettable because Sarver's a cheapskate and they were in the luxury tax and wouldn't want to pay him. But now I think that's kind of out the window. So I don't really want to... Eric, I don't want to do a trade with Phoenix. I don't want to give them Josh Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something good for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't going to happen, but I would take Crowder in a first.
For Hart?
Yeah.
I don't want Crowder. That's a headache.
I know, but I'd like
if you could flip him, then sure. But it's like, I would only want our first back. But even then, like, I think Hart would be great for Phoenix. I think Hart would be great off the bench in Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like, we gotta stop making other Western Conference teams better. You know?
But if
we're trying to beat them.
I could also see it not making them that much better in terms of the standings and that pick being pretty good. Like, 15th or so. Somewhere around there. Mid-teens.
Yeah, I just mean, like, what is... That goes back to the whole conversation of, like, how does that get us better this year or next year?
Cyclone says, if I'm the Suns, I'm taking the Bucks deal for Crowder. That deal is terrible, man. Did you see that one?
No.
So apparently the Bucks' latest offer is Serge Ibaka, Jordan Nwora, George Hill, and seconds for Jay Crowder. And that's like the best offer they've got.
That's not good at all.
How is that good?
That's not good at all.
Not a
Here
single
we go
one
with.
Not a single one of those three players would be on in the rotation for the Suns in the playoffs. So.
3 non-rotation players and second-round picks for the guy they've held on to as a headache all season long to try and get value out of him. That makes 0 sense. 0. Big ol' 0. No way.
Yeah, so Carter asks, is it possibly flip Jay to Miami for Caleb Martin? Yeah, sure, it's possible, but unfortunately, Crowder makes more than Caleb Martin, and the Heat, I think, are going to try to duck the tax, so you probably have to take Dedmon back with him. Maybe they give you some seconds or something to do that, but I really don't want Dedmon, and then I think we still stay under the tax, but yeah, I think it'll be okay, but I don't know.
So, what's up? Dionysus says, hi, Tori and Eric. Any rumors on Bamba? If you're trading Josh Hart to a third team or whatever, or Josh Hart in a multi-team deal, and you're not getting much salary back from that team, say it's like you're trading Josh Hart somewhere, and then you're getting back, I don't know, like a $3 million, $4 million player. You could potentially lump Bamba into that coming our way if he can be had for cheap, like second-round picks, for sure. The thing is can they get a first for him? He's not playing right now, so it's iffy. But that's the thing with like multi-team trades where Josh Hart's going somewhere is what are we getting back from the team that we're trading Josh Hart to? Or what is that team trading another team that we could potentially loop into the deal? Plus, how much salary are we taking back? If we're not taking back much salary, and depending on the constructs of the trade, you can potentially throw in like any, $6, $7, $8 million player into that if we're not taking much back in the initial multi-team deal. So that's why it's hard to come up with like specific trade ideas this year, because last year it was like, okay, who's trading for CJ McCollum? Who's trading for Norm Powell? This year it's like any number of guys you can potentially lump into a deal depending on what it would take to get them pick-wise and what their value is.
For the record, I have not seen a single thing about Bamba other than
I wouldn't be surprised if they traded him though.
He's been benched, and I have not heard a single thing about the Blazers being interested in Bamba either. So I'm not saying that can't happen, but as far as everything I'm hearing, I think that would be kind of out of left field, which is certainly possible that, a lot of trades happen that never get discussed, but yeah. All Good says, could the Blazers get involved in the Suns-Bucks trade, take on Nwora, seconds, Phoenix first? I don't know why Phoenix would give up a first for Hart. I don't think that's possible. I was kind of being facetious earlier.
I mean, you gotta get back at least a first plus.
No, I know, but
on top of,
I think Phoenix is looking for assets for Crowder, not to give away an asset with him for a kind of similar player that, I guess it helps them that it plays, but that doesn't help them get better.
I'm just saying with Josh Hart trades, the Blazers need to get back first round pick value plus something else. That's what it needs to be.
And okay, so this is where we're gonna get unrealistic, Kyle. Like Orlando's not trading a first to get Josh Hart. Like there's no reason for them to get a first,
especially on top of Bamba.
Yeah.
Especially one that's that lightly protected. Like they took Franz Wagner 8th overall a couple years ago. Did you think they would potentially want to give up? Sure, they're probably going to be good now, but that's why it'd have to be at least lottery protected. If they're going to be good, then it should be lottery protected. Potentially giving up the chance at like another Franz Wagner and Mo Bamba for Josh Hart? No.
That could be good by them, but yeah, it's still. But the thing is, you have to start to question why Mo isn't getting any playing time on a team that doesn't really have much. Like Wendell Carter Jr. missed a bunch of time, and Mo Bamba still wasn't really playing much. Yeah.
Yeah. What other rumors you got? You said you had a Dallas trade.
Well, just one more thing about Phoenix.
Okay.
Because I forgot who asked, but someone asked in chat, could this be expanded to a DeAndre Ayton trade? So Matt Moore did mention that, but he specifically said the following is speculative and not based on information, but it would make a lot of sense if talks around a Crowder Hart deal expanded to include DeAndre Ayton. And this is coming from another national media who just thinks Nurk's got to go and that he's the worst center ever and we need to get rid of him. But then I question, how does the money work for that if we're trying to get Crowder and DeAndre Ayton, both of them? And his suggestion is get a third team involved to make the money work. But that's not how it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You can't just get a third team to give up more contracts. Portland still has to match on Ayton. So, yeah.
Yeah. Don't read into too much stuff. Come to us and fact check things.
I guess I'm kind of scared because I could see both teams, like Phoenix, just being fed up with Ayton and not wanting to pay him the rest of his contract and trading him for like Nurkic and Hart.
I'm not worried about that.
And I could also
I don't think
see
we'll do that.
Portland like thinking that that's an upgrade or something, and he's locked up for 4 years, and that's their all-in move. I agree with you. I'm not doing it, but would it surprise you if we're talking about that
For
kind of
some
thing?
reason, yes.
Yeah.
For some reason, yes. Because I think like Aiton's efficiency this year is on par with Nurkic's, and that's one of the biggest critiques of Nurkic. And it's like, I mean, the organization, if they know what they're looking at, should realize that swapping Aiton in for Nurkic isn't going to change too much defensively. Nurkic is a better passer. Like they're close as players. So it's like you're giving up your only asset to potentially make the team better on top of Nurkic for a slight upgrade at the center spot when that's not going to change anything you've had issues with. Like, I would be surprised if Cronin does that. But if Cronin does that, then I will never have faith in him as a GM, because he just like, if he does that, I don't trust him. I will never trust him.
Yeah.
Because
Or
if he identifies that as the area of need, Eric, and willing to give up assets for a player that has a lot of issues this year and is paid a max, then I don't trust him.
if it's just Nurk and Hart, I think they could say they weren't really giving up assets.
Well, Hart's an asset.
I know. I'm just saying.
Hart's a more valuable asset than the difference between Nurk and Ayton. Going from Nurk to Ayton solves less than the problems that trading Hart creates.
Mm-hmm. Arcade.
Kevin Reese, you love that deal because you suck with trades, dude.
And you're a Laker fan.
And you're a Laker fan.
Arcade Z wants us to talk about the proposed offer from the Bucks for Crowder.
Oh, you mean the thing we just talked about like 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about the Mavericks trade instead.
Yeah. All right.
Honestly, I always feel bad for the people that maybe they just tuned in at like perfectly the wrong time. And we're like, dude, we talked about that like 3 minutes ago. So
I'm just messing with him.
And then they get like, we just talked about that.
It's fair game if you come on and ask that. Anyways, Rohan, I mentioned this in a previous stream, but he's asking me to touch on the rumors from earlier in the year regarding Cameron Johnson. Was there a chance we could get him in our TPE? And if so, what would we be sending back? Yeah, so that trade's pretty much dead. Back earlier in the season, before the whole ownership change and before it seemed like it was going to be streamlined to be sooner rather than later, the owner did not want Cameron Johnson on the team anymore. And then he gets pushed out, but he was mad that he didn't accept their offer, and the Suns kind of viewed it as their final offer. And then he gets hurt on top of that. And so they were probably going to dump him and be stupid for not very much.
Yeah.
The Blazers would have had to give up Naz probably. So if you like Naz, that might have been a deal breaker for you. But then they get a new owner who's willing to spend money and who has a lot of money, I guess, and wants to keep Cam because he's brand new and is watching Cam now come back and play well and carry a team without Devin Booker right now. And so the only chance, we'll get into this next rumor with this. So the two teams that Shams mentioned as the, I don't know, front runners is the right word for OG Anunoby right now is the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks. And the Knicks obviously have a ton of pick assets. They're not necessarily the best picks unless they start trading some of their own. And then the Suns, we know, have several firsts they could trade. But the only thing that makes sense to me still with Cameron Johnson would be is if another team wants him as part of that trade, and then you swoop in and offer them something more for him than Phoenix is asking for, or if they're just flat out making him untouchable. Maybe he becomes touchable if if he gets to another team that's not necessarily tied to him, the fans already. So Cameron Johnson cannot get an extension. He will be a free agent regardless of what happens via trade or staying on the Suns. So he could get signed by the Suns because they have his bird rights. But I think the Cameron Johnson dream is dead, unfortunately, due to the circumstances of what's happening there.
Yep, we got 5 minutes, so let's get into everything else.
All right, Zach Lowe had on his podcast, he had Tim McMahon on, and they suggested a Nurk and Ant for Zach LaVine trade.
Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
And they didn't really know why they would do that other than Zach LaVine is bigger than Ant. So that helps.
Ridiculous.
But this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, the Blazers aren't trading Nurk and Ant for, at best, a slightly better version of Ant. Like, I think that's even questionable, you know? So like these are the kind of trades that like national people think like, oh, Portland might consider this because they hate Nurkic and Anthony's been terrible, right? Because like that's how like half of Blazer Twitter is. But like, yeah, so these are the kind of things that are not going to happen. But I just thought that was funny because like after all the things, if we do something like that, man, I think I'd almost rather have Ayton than do that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Doesn't change a thing. It just loses us our starting center.
Yeah. You'll like this one, Tori. Dan Favdale had once again, I don't know how reliable this guy is, but he was saying that Naz Reid is potentially available for a okay-ish young player in seconds.
Keon Johnson in seconds. Let's do it. Get it done, Cronin. Let's go.
And that was the trade he suggested when he was talking about Naz Reid. Was Keon in 2 seconds. I know you would forgive Joe Cronin for everything if he did that, right?
I mean, not everything. It's still but I love myself some Naz Reid, man.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Whew. Please. Oh, if we did that. On top of
I don't know if the Blazers want to pay, anyone this summer what it's going to cost, but I mean, you have to make that trade if it's available. Yeah. You have to
give him a little bigger role and be like, see, we trust you. We're willing to play you a little bit more. We'll play you 24 minutes a game. You can play him a few minutes a game next to Nurkic, I think, and then he's the backup setter, and you just freaking, I don't know, Eubanks is the third string, and then we're happy. And, I don't know. I want Naz Reid. Especially for that. I would do that in a heartbeat. I don't dislike Keon. I love Naz Reid, though. Naz Reid is a rotation player and young and can do a bunch of things. Offensively, he's one of the best bigs off the bench in the league.
I don't dislike Keon. It's just I don't see any path to him ever really blossoming here.
We need size.
It's the same. It's the exact same problem we had when we traded for him. Like,
yeah,
you traded for someone with first round value that's never going to get to show that value on the court. Yeah. All right, and then moving on, there's a laughable thing out of Dallas that I mentioned earlier, and that's that they are willing to listen to offers for Dorian Finney-Smith if they're getting a star back in return.
Yeah, and I saw somebody say the Blazers are willing to listen to offers for Justice Winslow if they're willing to get a star in return.
Yeah.
Able to.
Yeah. The
So
Blazers are willing to trade for Kevin Durant. Like, no crap. Yeah.
God,
And
yeah.
and the
There's no
Hornets
stars even available.
are now asking for a first round pick for Mason
Yeah.
Plumlee. Like,
Oh God,
this
it's
is
gonna be interesting to
it's getting
see
out of control, man.
because yeah, that ain't happening.
I'm telling you, Hart's gonna get.
Mason Plumlee got cap dumped at like $8 million,
I know.
and like the Pistons moved down from like 37 to 57 or something like that a couple drafts ago.
Not only that, but at the beginning or like the off season, they would have gladly given him to any team that wanted him for anything back. And they draft Mark Williams. They have Nick Richards, who's like secretly maybe a good target as like a guy that's under the radar. Um, that could be good. And then the yeah. So but then they play Plumlee and start him. I know he's playing well the last few weeks. Like he's putting up really good numbers, like some of the best numbers of his career. But
He's still mid.
he's still like no one's going to trade a first for. I mean, no contending team he'd start for. So you're trading a first for a backup center, and like that's just not going to happen, unless it's like a young player. Like if you're talking about like Naz Reid or something, where like a team thinks he still has potential to get better, but like everyone knows what Plumlee is. And this is the best version of him going on right now. He's not even the greatest rebounder or whatever, but like, yeah, he's not getting a first round pick. That's just funny.
Keon does not match Plumlee, by the way. Hamza.
But Plumlee, I mean, at best, I think he's like a filler in a trade for the Hornets, like to get someone more expensive. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'd rather have Plumlee than Eubanks, but like, I mean, that I'd pretty much say that about anyone.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else? Trade or rise?
And then the Denver Nuggets are apparently there's a rift between Bones Highland and Michael Malone.
Yeah, that's strange.
And so there's rumors
Bones Highland doesn't seem like a Michael Malone type of player.
Yeah. But there's rumors that he is maybe on the move, and Denver might get a first-round pick, which could help them facilitate other trades. But I still think that would be a big loss because their bench already has issues with scoring.
Yeah, but they'll be able to get a first for him because he's young and like a really good shooter. Has issues in other areas of the game, but a team will give up a first for him. So Almax says, get Bones Highland. He is good. Portland, that's the last thing Portland should do is trade a first-round pick that they don't have for Bones Highland.
Yeah.
Rohan, it's a tag. I just wanted to, leave it there for aesthetic purposes. I don't know. Yes, I know there's a tag in my hat. Anyway, anything else?
Well, we mentioned the OG stuff. Let's see. Jalen McDaniels, your other guy. Suns, Raptors, Jazz, Pacers, and Spurs closely monitoring. The Hornets value him though.
Yeah. I was thinking a buyer's market, they'll get an offer they can't refuse, which should be a first. If they can get a first for him, they should trade him.
Jalen Noel is telling the Timberwolves that he's leaving in free agency, apparently. So he wants
with all these bench players that are
he wants to be traded. Might be a good scoring guard off the bench for someone. Several teams still in pursuit of Jakob Poeltl, Raptors and Celtics among them. And then there's the Knicks and Suns for OG.
Yep. So that's your trade rumor roundup. Later today, probably like 6:30ish, I will have Indiana Pacers trade deadline preview, and then I'm going to try and do the Brooklyn Nets later tonight. And then we'll have one for the Blazers. at some point. Should probably record that soon, Eric. I'll interview Eric as the guest for that. But those trade deadline previews are on our NBA channel, NBA Uprise. There should be a link in the description box below. Let me check that. Yeah, there's a link in the description box below, so definitely go subscribe to that. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs over on that NBA channel and get that off the ground, so you guys can help be a part of that. And I want to start doing consistent content on there because it's fun. Aeromancer, I'm not going to be able to do an interview for every team. I'm not even going to be able to do every team, but some of them I'll just kind of go more in depth on things myself. And then some of them, so I'll be able to do a couple more interviews for, hopefully, because those interviews were fun to do.
Al Mack asked, will the Blazers go into the tax? In my opinion, highly unlikely unless, if they trade for OG, I think they'd be willing to do it if the math doesn't work out to stay under. But short of getting OG or better, I don't think they're going in the tax for anyone.
Yep. I'll sub if you say a Julius Randle trade. Okay, a Julius Randle trade. Thank you for your sub. Appreciate it. Anything else, Eric?
Anthony Simons for Julius Randle and 8 first-round picks.
Ugh. Anyway, we got to go after that. We'll be live later tonight. We'll talk more trade ideas, maybe open up the trade machine on the post-game show. We'll talk about the game, obviously, as the Blazers take on the Hawks. Trae Young questionable, Nurkic questionable, Josh Hart questionable, so we'll see if those three guys play, and we'll see if the Blazers can take care of business on their last game of this homestand before they go back on the road. I've gotten used to being at home, Eric. Despite losing a lot of home games, it's been nice to play at Moda Center consistently. So,
Cyclone says, say one bad thing about Nurk for $1,000, which you won't give us, but we always say
Nurkic
good
is not
and
a
bad.
good finisher. There you go.
Nurk has sucked in 3 of the last 4 games he's played in.
Yes. All right. Where do I send my PayPal? You're just trolling.
He's just trolling now.
Where's my $1,000? I want my $1,000. All right. You said you'd give me $1,000. I believed you. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll catch you later tonight on the post-game show. This has been Blazers Press Live presented by Bet Online. Until next time, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.